have a double offer this time. Trainman 2001, which doesn't have an office page, and AJ Mansfield. From the looks of it, this is the last SCP of theirs that we get to read. The previous one that they had was 2276. 2276. Oh yeah, those like gold boss scanners in space. Yes. That actually came out this month. That video came out this month. So that was AJ Mansfield. So this is the last one of theirs that we get to read. Let's see if they go out with a bang. Alright, it's time for Thanksgiving turkey staff. Yeah, basically, right? So this one's called Willow Glen Community Hospital. Okay, here we go. Object class save. Special containment procedures. SCP-2564 is to be fenced off and contained within provisional site 467. Containment is to be managed from site 81. The site perimeter and all rooms within SCP-2564 are to be kept under continuous CCTV surveillance. On-site security personnel are to monitor SCP-2564 and its perimeter. Where do I have my water? There it is. Pardon. Sorry about that. On-site security personnel are to monitor SCP-2564 and its perimeter to prevent accidental or intentional entry by unauthorized civilians. Any anomalous occurrences are to be reported immediately. Low essential contact information. Position: HMCL supervisor. Name: Veronica Eason. Phone: 812-150-2456. Site: 81. Director: Danny Kramer. 812-150-2409. Site: 81. MTF dispatch. No name. Okay, 812-150-2400. Professional site: 467 Commander Lincoln Yates. 219-571-1140. Lake County Sheriff Non-Emergency. 219-755-3333. Imagine if like you actually call one of these numbers and somebody picks up and it's like, are you from the fucking that one SCP website? Is that who you? It's like, I had a couple calls like you before. One of the longer articles today, that's fine. Show outdated procedures. Object class Euclid. SCP-2564 is to be kept under continuous CCTV surveillance at all times. To prevent accidental or intentional entry by unauthorized civilians, the entrance to SCP-2564 is to remain locked and is to be guarded by 2 security personnel at all times. Any anomalous occurrence are to be reported immediately. Description: SCP-2564 is the former Willow Glen Community Hospital located at 2301 Virginia Street in Gary, Indiana. Constructed from 1959 to 1964. Starting in 1974, a number of anomalous phenomena have manifested in SCP-2564, resulting in at least 5 fatalities and potential several others. Persons associated with patients accepted to the hospital were statistically more likely to undergo a harmful or fatal accident at or near the hospital. That is very, very fitting. You call them, please don't say that I'm the fucking Site 81. Hello, Site 81 director. That's not who I am. Are you sure about that? Because that's what this page says here. Maybe you are, and you just got like some amnestics, and you just don't remember, huh? Additionally, psychokinetic potential measurement taken in 2001 showing a theta n equals 14.5 NEM over baseline, whatever that means, near SCP-2564 indicate there may still be continued activity. Earlier PKP measurement technology was not sensitive enough to detect any activity on these scales. So you telling me there's a fucking hospital where like just nearby it accidents happen? Gotta make the business flow, guys. Gotta make sure that the business keeps flowing. We gonna make big bucks if we somehow magically just have people get injured in front of our hospital. Honestly, I would just never walk in front of the hospital. I was just like make a big ass curve around it. That's what the site director would say. Yeah, exactly. I'm not the site director. Oh, are you sure? But that sounds like something the site director would say. So when will the agents like break into my house and try to anesthetize me? Huh? When is that going to happen? Live on stream, you guys see me just getting tackled, getting jammed with amnestic drugs. They see the camera and they're like, oh shit, and you guys are like all like. The hospital's former psychiatric ward designated -1 housed a number of inpatients with unusually severe permanent mental illness from its construction until 1979, including POY 58436, who is currently in Foundation custody at Site 6-3. -1 was originally contained as SCP-2564 in August 1979, after it was brought to the attention of the Foundation by agents embedded within local law enforcement during investigation of Incident A. The psychiatric ward was closed and its inpatients moved to Foundation custody for screening, after which most were given amnestic therapy and moved to other facilities. After containment of -1, additional incidents -B through F at the hospital led the Foundation to reclassify the entire building as SCP-2564 in December 1989. Took you guys 10 years apparently, okay. SCP-2564 was acquired by the Foundation in January 1990. The Foundation then closed the hospital with the last patient gone in March 1990, after which provisional site 167 was established to contain SCP-2564. That's smart though. That's a Bruce Wayne way of doing it. Buy the whole place and just kick everybody out and just shut it down. Yeah. I mean, Bruce Wayne, of course, would do it the other way around. In his case, he would like buy it and try to fix it and all that stuff. But at least this makes sense, you know? Like, Foundation's like, okay, let's just buy the hospital, make sure that all the patients inside get treated, and then once they're treated, they leave, and we just shut down the hospital. Just come up with some bullshit excuse like, oh, director was a money laundering, tax evasion, something like that. Stop fucking calling my phone bill. It's up the fucking roof right now. You're after the amnestics today. We are reading SCP-001 to SCP-009. You know that SCP-001 to SCP-009 is not going to happen. I mean, I probably will think that. Yeah, you're right. I probably will think that until I start reading 001. I'm like, oh, there are multiple of them. Oh, okay. It's all about deja vu. Yeah, but like, the thing is, they will also need to delete my YouTube channels, right? They would have to like completely erase my YouTube channels. They have to erase all my thumbnails I made, and still have them saved up on my hard drive. They have to erase so many different things to make sure that I don't remember that I already read. Yeah, they will have to erase all the comments on Reddit and Discord that talked about me reading through them all. If I ever like if I ever restart. Okay, where were we? Yeah. Incident Report A. Document not available. Primary copy was destroyed during 2004 Site 81 archive fire. No secondary copy is available due to its sensitive nature. Access to Area 135. Backup pending request validation. Incident Report B. Prepared 1989 12/16 following investigation in the event of 1981 7th 23rd by Agent Pamela Bushnell under the direction of SCP-2564 HMCL Supervisor Veronica Eason. The following is the approximate series of events deduced from archived CCTV footage, interviews with eyewitnesses, and various official and unofficial records. Okay, so 1981 7th 23rd T03 oh, okay, so like 3:20 till actually it's very confusing what that's supposed to. I assume that was like the time, like the 3:20, and then what does it mean to like till 5? Wait. State Police Officer Clifford Walker sustained a gunshot wound to his right upper chest when he was fired upon by Mr. Bekmarza Timayev during an attempted robbery at the People's Bank located at 1862 25th Avenue. So here we go. 3:28. Walker is transported by ambulance to the Willow Glen Community Hospital. 3:34. Walker arrives at the hospital and is admitted to emergency care. 3:35. Dr. Terry Rogers finds Walker to be uninjured. although his clothing is damaged, consistent with the injury described by the paramedic. 3:37, State Police Officer Thomas Dunn arrives at the hospital to visit Walker. He's admitted and leaves his handgun at the front desk. 7:45, Dunn returns to the front desk and retrieves his handgun. 7:49, Dunn leaves Willow Glen Community Hospital where he enters his vehicle and pulls out of his parking space. 7:50, Dunn's vehicle is struck by another vehicle in the parking lot. CCTV footage shows that the other vehicle was not occupied at the time of the collision, nor the individuals are seen. 7:54, Dr. Bradley's shoot pronounces Officer Dunn dead. Cause of death listed as acute cranial trauma. Oh, I'm glad I, wait, it was Walker, right, who, initially got hurt. Yeah, so but Thomas Dunn comes to visit, and then leaves, and then gets killed. That, god damn. So just visiting like a friend could get you in fatal danger. Like Master Timaev is at the time of writing incarcerated at the Westville Correctional Facility, IDOC inmate number 526820 in Westville, Indiana, and is serving a 26-year sentence for robbery resulting in serious injury in robbery with a deadly weapon. Officer Clifford Walker survived the shooting against initial expectation and has subsequently retired from service. X-ray images taken 2 years later later for unrelated reasons showed the presence of a hard metallic object embedded in Walker's right lung, the bullet, consisting of a healed bullet wound. Doctors were surprised that he hadn't died from internal infection. An analysis of the bullet after surgical removal states it was a .45 ACP round likely fired from a Colt M1911 consistent with the weapon used in the robbery. So yeah, the bullet was still inside him, but looks like for some reason somehow the hospital caused some healing. Basically, the hospital saved his life and then killed his friend's life. You give a life, you take a life. Kind of situation. Incident report -C appeared 1989 12/15 following investigation into the events of 1984 1st 15th by Agent Pamela Bushnell under the direction of SCP 2564 HMCL Supervisor Veronica Eason. The following is the approximate series of events deduced from archived CCTV footage, interviews with eyewitnesses, and various official and unofficial records. Okay, so here we go again. Okay, so 1985, 1st 15th time, 13:15 o'clock till... I still don't understand what that -06 means, because it doesn't go to like any of that. Oh, it doesn't matter. Mr. Kyle Law, 41, arrives at Willow Glen Community Hospital with his son Richard Law, 7. Oh god. Oh god. Our Law has a suspected ulnar fracture. So Richard Law, so the son has an ulnar fracture, later confirmed by Dr. Lennon. 13:25, Richard Law is admitted to see Dr. Lennon for treatment. K. Law takes a seat in the hospital lobby. 13:30, a ventilation cover falls from the ceiling and strikes K. Law on the head, resulting in minor bruising. K. Law shouts several expletives. Okay. 13:31, K. Law refuses treatment for his injury. 13:33, K. Law demands to see his son. He is told to go to room 511. He exits the lobby, climbing the stairs to the second floor. Oh, that's not going to go well. 13:39, an unknown second incident occurs, causing Kayla to fall from the window of a room 511. What the fuck? How the hell did that happen? When questioned, Arla appeared unable to or unwilling to answer questions relating to Kayla. No others were present during the incident. 13:48, a Mrs. Margaret Grover arrives at the hospital and discovers Kayla on the pavement below the window. 13:50, Kayla is admitted to Willow Glen Community Hospital with multiple cervical fractures. The fuck, Glen Community Hospital? Like, what was it? Kayla was subsequently diagnosed as quadriplegic and declared unable to care for Arla by the Lake Circuit Court of Indiana. Custody of Arla was given to Mr. Daniel Utley, uncle, maternal side, and his wife. Arla was subsequently adopted by Mr. and Mrs. Utley. Now I'm trying to wonder if You know how like there was like this one SCP that like hunted down predators by giving them a taste of their own medicine kind of deal, like, or at least, you know, taking away certain things that they use, like if they strangled somebody, then like that SCP hunted them down, cut their hands off and stuff like that. What if this hospital is doing something similar of like saving the one who needs to be saved and punishing the one who had something awfully planned? Like what if the father... Let me see what an ulnar fracture is real quick. But what if the father was actually like not a good person? It's a break in one of the two bones in the forearm. It can occur in the proximal near the elbow. So the last time I read about an ulnar, that's like pop culture reference to an ulnar fracture was The Shining, right? Where Jack pulled Danny so hard that he broke his arm. So what if this was a similar case here? What if Mr. Kyle Law was like abusive or pulled Richard way too hard? And that's why also Richard's not really like willing to talk about what happened to his dad. Maybe like Richard just doesn't, yeah, maybe there's a horrible relationship. And the hospital can sense that, maybe? Let's just keep reading. There's a lot more to go. But now he's adopted by... Oh, the fact that he's adopted makes me think that like that by he's not adopted by Kayla, but he's adopted by the uncle now. Makes me feel like maybe with the uncle he feels a lot more safer. Who knows? Incident report D, prepared 1989-12-14, following investigation in the event of 1989-5th 3rd by Agent Pamela Bushnell on the direction of SB-2564, HMCL Supervisor Veronica Eason. The following is the approximate series of events deduced from... It's basically all the same thing, isn't it? Except just different dates. 1989, 2nd, 3rd time, 11:10 till 6. A Mr. Ethan Warren, 28, arrives at Willow Glen to visit his grandfather. He is admitted to visit his grandfather, Mr. Reese Warren, 75. 11:16, E. Warren enters R. Warren's room carrying a handgun. Why are you coming? Why? Besides the police officer, way too many people coming in here with guns into a hospital. 11:17, CCTV timestamp skips from 11:17 to 11:19. E1 exits R1's room. He's still carrying the handgun. 11:21, E1 is seen walking down the hall to the lobby. He no longer is carrying the handgun. Okay. 11:25, Secretary Ann Olson sees E1 wander through the lobby out the door. E1 appears to be in altered state of consciousness. 11:40, Nurse Catherine Long discovers the handgun in a wastebasket in the geriatrics ward and reports it to the police. R. Warren was a patient at Willow Glen from 1986 until his death on 1989, 7th 3rd. Okay, so this like, yeah, so a couple months has still passed before this happened. Gotcha. His medical records indicate that he had been in a vegetative state for the entirety of his stay. E. Warren had previously been convicted twice in separate incidents on gang-related assault charges. E. Warren was placed under arrest 2 days later and charged with possession of a firearm by a felon. He pled guilty and was sentenced to 4 years in prison. E. Warren died of cerebral hemorrhage on either 1989 for 4th, 13th or 1989 for 15th, while incarcerated at the Edinburgh Correctional Facility. Prison records listed 4th, 13th, while certificate of death lists. Okay, I see. I'm still sticking to my theory that like the hospital can tell if somebody's a bad person. They just like, you know, add pain to those people. Incident report E, prepared 1989-12-12, following investigation into the event of 1989-12-4. All of this is the same sentence. 1989-12, 4th time, 4:36 o'clock. A Mr. Carl Hazen, 18, and 4 passengers. Miss Tammy Knott, 16, Miss Luella Silvera, 18, Miss Eva Blue, 17, and Mr. Mark Moore, 19, are driving and on I-65 South. 4th, 37, Mr. Hazen's vehicle leaves the roadway and collides with a tree near mile marker 26. Knox is thrown forward through the windscreen and rendered unconscious. Hazen, Silvera, and Moore survived the initial collision and are trapped in the vehicle. Blue is decapitated in the collision. Ugh. Oof. This is one of the reasons why I'm scared of like driving a car, man. Like, imagine if you get in an accident so brutal that one of your friends dies because of that. 445th, Gary Fire Department Rescue crew arrives at the scene of the collision and are able to recover Hazen, Severa, and more from the vehicle wreckage. 447, 2 ambulances and a helicopter arrive. Hazen and Severa are transported by ambulance to the Willow Glen Community Hospital. Knots and more are transported by helicopter to the University of Chicago Trauma Center. Oh, 2 different hospitals, okay. 452, so again, Hazen and Severa are in Glen. Knots and more are in Trauma Center. 452, Hazen and Severa arrive at the Willow Glen Community Hospital and are admitted. Hazen is placed in room 403. Oh, sorry, 630. Hazen is placed in room 400. Like, wow. An hour and a half? Okay. 632, Nurse Eddie Jacobs enters room 403 and discovers Hazen with 466 plastic hypodermic 100 milliliter syringe stock in his body. What? The syringes are filled with Hazen's blood. Who the fuck stabbed this? Stabbed this man with almost 500 syringes? What? 649, Foundation guards at the hospital assigned to SCP-2564 establish initial containment of room 403. Site 81 is alert of a potentially anomalous occurrence. MTF Beta 32 snapping turtles is dispatched. 7 first, MTF Beta 32 arrives at the hospital. Hazen's body and the syringes are recovered for analysis. Postmortem analysis of Hazen body and analysis of the blood in the syringes indicate that Hazen had been intoxicated at the time of the collision. Yeah, and he was the one who drove into the thing. Yeah. No other overt anomalous signs were discovered, recommending a review of past incidents at Willow Glen Community Hospital to assess if it poses a persistent anomalous threat that warrants full permanent containment of the hospital. Yeah, so I think this confirms my theory now that like anybody who's like seems to be a bad person seems to get punished by the hospital. In this case, Hazen, because he got in a car crash because he was drunk, which caused one of his friends to die, got literally his entire blood sucked out with syringes. And then we can say with the father, he probably like injured the kid, and that's why like he got injured by the hospital to like have a bunch of broken bones. Maybe the officer who came to visit, maybe he was like like a corrupt cop. And then we have this one. Yeah, you're part of a gang member, so on and so forth. Like, yeah, I think it's definitely. I have a feeling that's the case, that this hospital is punishing people who are causing either criminals or just or fault for the damage or anything like that. Instant F prepared 1990 first 10th following investigation into the events of 1990 first 8th by Agent Pamela Bushnell under the direction of SB2564 HMCL supervisor Veronica Eason. By the way, I'm saying all this like as if it's like something I just discovered. Is that actually what it says here? No, it doesn't. Okay, so it's not like it's not like I'm saying something that has been said and I forgot. So but it definitely seems like that. Okay, same thing again. 1990, first 8th, time 1430. A Mrs. Hazel Moyer arrives at Willow Glen Community Hospital, now SB2564, with her husband, Mr. Orville Moyer. Mr. Moyer is experiencing symptoms of kidney failure and is admitted. 1438, Mrs. Oh, we had this. Yeah. Mrs. Moyer is struck in the head by a gas fitting that head. Wait. Struck in the head by a gas fitting that had come undone from a compressed CO2 tank, thrashing her skull. 17-2, a Mr. Adam Dean is admitted to visit Mr. Moyer. 17-8, Dean enters Mr. Moyer's room and closes the door. Dean is seen speaking to Mr. Moyer. 17-9, Dean leaves frame and re-enters bearing a cup, presumably filled with something. Dean hands the cup to Mr. Moyer who ingests its content. 17-12, Dean is seen vomiting on the floor of the room. He moves to the window and attempts to open it. 17-13, Dean is seen struggling to open the window but does not succeed. 17-14, Nurse Mary Webb opens the door and enters the room and finds Dean collapsed against the window. She reports feeling dizzy and she opens the window, reported to ventilate the room. I assume Dean was Mrs. Moyer and Dean had an affair, and looks like Dean probably like poisoned Mr. Moyer. Mrs. Moyer died as a result of intracranial hemorrhage resulting from the impact and fractured skull. Mr. Dean and Mr. Moyer have been joint owners of Zone Construction Equipment, a company that sells large construction machinery in the Lake County and nearby areas, and have been having financial difficulties. Post-mortem examination indicates that both individuals died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Analysis of the contents of Mr. Moyer's stomach reveals a large amount of ethylene glycol, and his original symptoms were consistent with poisoning by the same. Yeah, so Dean was poisoning Mr. Moyer. And I assume Mrs. Moyer was involved in all that. Incident report F-2 prepared 1990 3rd 18. Following investigation in the event of 1990 3rd 18 by Agent Pamela Bushnell under the direction of SB2546 MCL Supervisor Veronica. That's all the same again. But let me just read it anyway. Provincial Site 467 report discovering the appearance of a metal plaque affixed to the side of SB2564 near the front entrance, being the text, "In memory of Hazel Garcia Moyer, I'm so sorry." Analysis of CCTV footage revealed a timestamp discontinuity in camera monitoring the area in which the plaque appeared, skipping from 1990 3rd 18 T4 time 419. Wait, 419 to okay. 419 406 to 41977. After the discontinuity, the plaque appears in the footage, although it was absent before. No injuries were reported. This is presumed to be linked to incident F. So, okay, in memory of Hazel Garcia Moyer, I'm so sorry. Maybe Mrs. Moyer was actually not involved in anything, and that was a mistake from the SCP itself, which is sad to find out, because it sounds like Dean was definitely involved in some poisoning, and maybe that it's trying to say that Mrs. Moyer was actually innocent. But hey, that actually was a really cool idea. I do like the idea of a hospital that seems to sense evil, or at least abusive or neglecting behavior, and punishes them for that. Although it's pretty brutal. I still think it's pretty brutal that the hospital does. But at the end, for example, with Hazen, hey, don't drink and drive, or don't drive while being drunk. You got your friend decapitated, and all the other friends are injured. So I can see why the SP was like, you're gonna get punished. But it's still 499 syringes with his blood being sucked out. That is crazy. That is crazy. That's scary too.